Nothing in the way of text or context is provided. The only thing you can see is a spotlighted stage with a singer performing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." It's intriguing because no one seems to doubt that it's not Rachel Zegler, the actress cast as Evita in the upcoming stage adaptation. It didn't take long for this video to go viral online. The theater's biggest mystery evolved from a grainy, unremarkable video of a practice. Investigative teams from various social media platforms slowed down and zoomed in on each frame, comparing the performer's posture, voice quality, and stage presence. They were unanimous. Rachel Zegler isn't the one getting all the attention. Someone else is, and many think she'd be a better choice for the role. The most peculiar aspect of this matter is the complete absence of coverage it has received from official sources. Rachel remained silent, the production crew remained mum, and neither the clip's actors nor the whereabouts of the previously announced lead were mentioned. There is usually a good reason for that kind of silence in the entertainment industry. According to internet investigators, the artist in issue is Camila Delgado, a classically trained Argentine stage actress who has performed in both opera and musical theater. Zegler is a social media sensation, but she isn't. Her acting in regional Argentinian shows is what brought her the most fame. Rumor has it that in 2019, she reprised her role as Maria in a college staging of West Side Story, ironically, the role that Zegler originally played. The voice alone isn't enough to make this potential casting switch intriguing. Her honest voice, stage presence, and effortless command of the room are all things that fans are praising Delgado for. To put it simply, she doesn't act like she's Eva, she just is. Best describes how it felt. The issue of authenticity also arises. Since Delgado hails from Argentina, she possesses an innate understanding of Eva Perón's cultural significance that many believe Zegler lacks. Although there has been no official confirmation as of yet, there is mounting evidence that a change is occurring in the background. Those who follow Rachel's theater-related social media accounts have noticed that she has been noticeably absent from them as of late. There has been a noticeable lack of activity on her Instagram account recently, compared to when it was jam-packed with rehearsal and behind-the-scenes videos. Her most recent post may have featured an enigmatic black-and-white image of a deserted stage accompanied by the phrase, "Sometimes silence is the strongest sound." The lyrical contemplation that appeared at first now seems more like a foreshadowing. Worse yet, Zegler's admirers noticed that she used Evita-related material from her biography and old practice videos that had previously been her story highlights. For someone whose reputation is based on continual engagement, this act of vanishing speaks volumes. The question of what could have triggered such a dramatic shift naturally arises. Rehearsal tensions are reportedly rising due to purported creative differences between Zegler and the production team. While unverified, rumors have it that these issues escalated into a brawl backstage, complete with shouting and thrown props. We do know that Rachel Zegler's company has had its fair share of ups and downs. Many devoted viewers of the original animated film took offense to her comments regarding it while she was on tour to promote Disney's Snow White remake. What appeared to be happening with Evita could have been influenced by this pattern of sharply divergent public reactions. It appears that Rachel Zegler has discreetly left Evita, according to an increasing number of digital clues. Among the shared call sheets discovered by theatergoers is the one that does not include Zegler. Blue ink is used instead of her name, which is probably Camila Delgado, to form the letters CD. "Come Me Go Again from the Top" is audible in the background of the popular video. In technical rehearsals, when a person uses their first name in this way, it typically indicates that they are playing a lead role. It appears that the apparel department is also in favor of the change. Supposedly coming from someone in wardrobe, a now-deleted Reddit post claimed that Zegler's fittings were abruptly rescheduled and measurements for a petite actress were substituted. This suggests that Delgado may have already inked a short-term contract, perhaps for preview performances while producers gauge audience reaction. Zegler is no stranger to public relations crises. Her comments about the prince's creepiness and the animation's datedness made headlines during her Snow White press tour. Many Disney fans voiced their disapproval of these claims. The lackluster response from Disney to the controversy deserves some attention. They failed to mount a solid defense or employ the press defensively. To avoid conflict, they adopted a strategy called a soft cut. What appears to be occurring with Evita is very similar to how Disney dealt with Zegler in Snow White. Both instances feature a slow disintegration rather than a sudden cessation. Because of this, productions won't be halted in the middle of an official firing statement's mayhem. The fact that people are responding positively to the idea of Delgado taking over is what makes this developing story so intriguing. Theatergoers are notoriously choosy about casting decisions, so when they spotted the unknown woman in the rehearsal video, they were ecstatic. Comments on social media sites gushed over the new actor's power and beauty within hours, with many comparing him to Rachel and praising him tenfold. There were noticeable differences in approach between Delgado's act and vintage footage of Zegler, according to content creators. While critics praised Zegler's technical prowess and loudness, they praised Delgado for her reserved and emotionally honest performance. As one British theater critic put it, "This is how Eva Perón should sound, steady, grown-up, and emotionally real." This broad acclaim isn't an attack on Zegler. Rather, it's an acknowledgement that Delgado may have been more authentic in her portrayal of the character. The anticipation does not arise from viewing subpar work, but rather from contemplating the likelihood that the show may exceed expectations. In all likelihood, there may be unspoken legal concerns. Rumor has it that Zegler's camp and production are keeping mum because they are either in the midst of negotiations or preparing for potential claims of unfair termination. Even if Zegler's dismissal was due to alleged behavioral issues, producers may still be vulnerable to civil action if she was bound by a legally binding contract. Careful behind-the-scenes handling is typical in these kinds of situations. Was the agreement violated? Were all necessary safety measures and directions followed? They must be dealing with some complex issues, because production is continuing without any formal announcements. For young actors to achieve lasting success, maintaining professional connections is crucial, particularly if they become famous rapidly, as Zegler did following West Side Story. An individual's reputation, rather than their abilities, is what secures a job, according to those with more experience in the field. The veracity of the rumors regarding Zegler's inappropriate behavior could significantly impact his future employment prospects. Meanwhile, there are issues specific to the industry. Without them knowing, how can you switch to another source? If the advertised star isn't going to appear on the show anymore, how can you drum up interest in it? In most cases, intricate public relations strategies that consider both legal and marketing factors are required to address such inquiries. Although thrilling drama has long been an integral element of theater, it is not often that productions and actors engage in such open conflict. What makes the potential Zegler-Delgado move so intriguing is that it reveals how the entertainment industry is adapting to deal with damage control in the era of social media. More and more productions are choosing strategic silence over official news releases or press releases to let viewers deduce the storyline. No one can say for sure what has changed, but there is a strange gray area that this method creates. It's as if the absence of explanation is interfering with the magic show. Without the clumsiness of formal statements, which could make contracts harder to understand or speed up legal battles, the production benefits from natural buzz. If Camila Delgado has truly embraced the role, this is an incredible opportunity, but also a challenging way to adjust to the limelight. Booking a prominent role in a show while it is in development is already challenging. It's already difficult enough to do this without having to deal with public gossip about your predecessor. She would be assuming full responsibility for her role and the fan-made narrative surrounding her redemption and authenticity. The artistic goals of the show might be better suited to Delgado's background, according to some in the industry. Assuming the production does well in London, director Jaime Lloyd may consider bringing Evita to Broadway. The show might do better with critics and viewers in both markets if Delgado were cast, given his classical training and cultural links to Argentina. The case also demonstrates the rapidity with which opinions can shift. The film West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg, catapulted Zegler to superstardom. In what seemed like the blink of an eye, she went from being an unknown high school student to the head of major studio productions. There were many wonderful opportunities that came along with that road, but there was also a lot of scrutiny, and prominent people in those roles didn't have much time to adjust to the scrutiny. The connection to broader conversations about authenticity in casting is what makes this debate intriguing. Culturally appropriate parts, particularly those involving national identities, are becoming increasingly popular in the theater industry. Eva Perón is one of the most famous and divisive figures in Argentina's history. Cultural significance is attached to her image, despite the fact that she was a divisive and complex political figure. Viewers are increasingly appreciating this type of forthright depiction, as demonstrated by the positive reception Delgado received. Viewed through the prism of career management, this episode highlights the significance of a well-planned transition from a period of great success to a stable employment position. Instead of attempting to use their early success to get as much attention as possible, many seasoned actors advise young actors to concentrate on improving their skills and making connections with others. Reliability, professionalism, and skill are equally crucial in the entertainment industry. Theatrical productions, which rely on the effective cooperation of all participants, are a prime example of this. Finding a way forward is the current challenge facing the Evita production. Will they ever come to terms with the fact that times have changed? Will Delgado appear on opening night like the part was written for her?
Will there be an official update to the marketing tools, or will they remain in this strange transitional phase? Each option has benefits and drawbacks that the show and its artists must consider. As the story progresses, it becomes clear that the traditional media gatekeepers and audience stories are shifting positions of power. Carefully scripted press releases and exclusive interviews used to be the norm for announcing cast changes. There has been more genuine engagement with a recently released 15-second video and the investigation of theatergoers than with any formal announcement in recent memory. Whatever happens next, this case provides a fascinating look at how production companies deal with hiring issues in the social media era. There has been a great deal of build-up to the first performance of this new Evita, and the audience is already very invested in the drama. The blurring of boundaries between the stage and everyday life is demonstrated here.